Hey, hello everybody. Just getting ready for making some bowls. So I thought I'd kind of share another area where I put things, get prepared. This is the key to really getting your, I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing. Let me see over here. You can't really see my scale. I'll move it over here. Maybe you can see my scale there. Yeah, so there's my scale. So I'm just weighing out some 2-pound balls of clay to make some medium, large size bowls. I'll make them with a real tall foot. I kind of, in doing it the way I do it, I do waste a little bit of clay, although none of it gets wasted. It's all used, but it doesn't all get, some of it gets recycled, so I don't waste any clay, but in essence I'm using clay only to be, that's only a little, only to be cut out during the trimming process. I'll get this stuff weighed up, and then I'll meet you back at the wheel. Hey, hello everybody. I just got done over at the, welcome back, over at my wedging table there for putting my balls of clay together. And this is kind of how I make my work here. I don't always weigh out every ball of clay I throw, but when I have a set idea of what I'm going to make, like I'm going to make bowls or mugs or whatever it is, that's exactly what I do. I make a mug and it's 1 pound. Or I make the 10-ounce mug and it's a 10-ounce ball of clay. I make a small bowl, which is 1 pound. I make a larger bowl, which is 2 pounds. And they're all, you follow the same process. Weigh out all your clay. Get all your area prepared for throwing, get the tools you need. Like I need this particular throwing stick because this is what I use to undercut with. I use a metal rib to shape my bowl, so there's a metal rib right there. I use this little rubber rib to make the inside nice and smooth. So I get all those tools out and prepared, and then begin. It's probably not unlike other potters. Probably exactly exactly how they do it. So first thing I'm going to do is kind of get my height set on the bowl I'm going to make. It's probably about right. Then a little water in it because I use I know I'd probably do it backwards compared to some people, but I like to take and work on the outside with my rib for the shape, and so I'm using my hand on the inside to make sure I'm doing a nice graceful curve. Now I'm just kind of trying to establish where the rim is going to go and the curvature of the bottom of the bowl, and then now I'm going to start setting the outside of the bowl. That's about right. Big bowls are you know, everyone has their own measurement. I probably could use a ruler for setting the width of these larger bowls, but you know, it's got to be bigger than my hand when I spread it out, I guess. That's all I want to do. So then I'm going to get some of the moisture water out of the inside. It's pretty close to it. Then I'm going to take this rib and work the inside nice and smooth. You know, there's nothing like getting a bowl that's perfectly, with a perfect transition in the inside, right? So there's no odd undulations when you're rolling your spoon in there. And then I want it to be nice and dry. I take my throwing stick and just supporting the inside a bit, I just give it a little sticking, because this is going to be trimmed. I just do that so the inside isn't so so the outside's kind of set. So this is probably the largest bowl that I would pull off of the wheel head like this. I probably anything larger than this I leave on the bat. And when I take it off, I dry my hands like this, and sometimes I don't dry them fully. I was just going for demonstration. And then I use kind of this scissor lift where I support with 3 points on each side. Sometimes this works, but on thinner bowls you end up collapsing it. So I want to get as low as possible. So I've undercut it, dried my hands. Now I'm going to get right down to the base, give it a lift, and then put it on my board over here. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to set my gauge. Well, I'll do that on the next one. Hopefully I don't get it too far off. That's another thing, throwing to a gauge, you know. Some people are just really good at it. I don't know. Sometimes I use a gauge and look back and say, oh, they're kind of uniform. And then sometimes I don't use a gauge and I come up with a very similar result. They're kind of uniform. So, you know, use your judgment. However, but for a rule of thumb, if you want to throw sets of things, it's smart to set a gauge. And to set a gauge, I just take a lump of clay like this, put it on the splash pan like that, take a chopstick or whatever. In this case, it's a chopstick. I've got another wooden stick I use, but a chopstick in this case would be just fine. And then I put it in there like that. So, let's go break in, open up, compress the bottom, roll the sides in a bit, get my first claw pull. Moisten the clay, get that second pull. Now the second pull really kind of sets up where this bowl is going to be. That's probably about right. And then at this point, just kind of take a look at it, make sure there's nothing weird anywhere. Maybe give it another little pull. I think it's good. So now I'll get my rib out just like I did before. Clean it off. And then kind of set the inside of the bowl up nice and round. Kind of work my way out. The first time I just work my way out kind of in a straight line to just kind of get the bowl settled. If you try to do this on a large bowl in one move, try to get the whole curve of the bowl and the height and the width and everything in one pull, it can easily go off center. And so what I do is I do the first one basically up and down with the rib, and now I'll go back. See, the width needs to go out a little bit more. I'll go do another one, and this time I'll curve my rib a bit more and then work on that outside diameter a bit of the rim, and then see if I like it, and it's about right. So what I'll do now is I'll set my gauge, and some people set it right on it. I like to give myself a centimeter or so because I may hit it or move it or something, so stretch it odd or whatever. Next thing is getting the inside to set the way I want it, so I'll work on the rim a touch, go down, use this little rubber flexible rib to kind of work the inside a bit, and then clean it off with a sponge. Set my gauge this time, throwing stick. And probably not the most efficient way. I know I redo things over and over again, but sometimes throwing's about the most efficient way of getting it done, and sometimes it's just about the practice of working at it. So then I take my cut-off wire, give it an undercut, drop it there, and I drop one on the inside and let the other piece hang off the end. Dry hands, give it a little lift, see the inside, and then set it there. Alright, so here's a nice close view. So I did the first couple steps. I just put a booger on this. Okay, the first couple steps, I just wanted to show you what I do with my hand. So I make sure it's nice and wet, and then I work my way from the rim down just a little bit, just to make sure that it's gonna, it's enough lubrication. Then I kind of work my hand from the middle of the bowl out to make sure I'm planning on a nice even rounded arc there. And like I said, the first time out I just pull it straight up at an angle, no, straight up, a straight line out to kind of get that bowl shape started. And then I will kind of shape the bowl a little bit more like a bowl, round it out. Make sure it looks easy to go in there and get your spoon and get your food out, your soup or whatever, that's a big bowl of soup, but serving spoon or whatever it is, so that it's a nice even arc all the way around. Yeah, this bowl is weird. It's got a little... There we go. Got it. I heard somebody say that a bowl should be an even transition, that if you dropped a marble in, that it should go in and move easily to the other side and up the side of the bowl without skipping and jumping and all that. So, I don't know. This is probably not the best example because I can see like a little tiny step in there. But, close anyway. Stick and light sticking, wire, cut off, dry my hands, and then lift it off of the... See, when you lift it, it'll deform a little bit, but that's all right. You pick it up, and it deforms a bit, and you've heard people say clay has a memory. So you just put it down and give it a little wiggle with your hand on the rim, and it goes right back into place. All right, folks, well, you know, that's it. So have a go, make some bowls, use a gauge, you know, get your hands dirty today. All right, talk to you later. Bye.